the hell you gonna get fired on your day off?
I don't know.
I just have to see how things play out before I step out and say anything. You know, I can talk. I'm just being patient, and it's tough to be patient, but it's the smart thing and right thing to do. This is not a Wheezy Mandy rollout whatsoever. Taking control of everything and betting on me, that's just me. Putting me first above everybody for once.
Nobody got fired. We didn't downsize. Looking to add, looking to add some ensemble cast members.
What's good? What's good? Welcome back. What's good? This is the FuriousRobinson podcast, and I'm your host, Furious, your curator of conversation, wordsmith aficionado. Tap in early, hit the like button, drop a comment, and subscribe. You already know I'm here to dabble in the dark arts. It's very different outside. The streets are different now because I thought only big corporate tech companies did layoffs. I thought the only people that were really giving people the boot was these big time CEOs. No, at the Rory Mal podcast, they're giving people the boot as well. Julian got furloughed in real time, and sadly enough, he was the best thing that actually happened to that podcast. He was actually a good balance between Rory and Mal as well as Damaris. Julian had a lot of leverage. He was going very viral in some of the clips and some of the things he was saying. He was always well informed to a degree. So the fact that he was sending out very subliminal messages via his IG live.
I just have to see how things play out before I step out and say anything. You know, I can talk. I'm just being patient, and it's tough to be patient, but it's the smart thing and right thing to do. This is not a Wheezy Mandy rollout whatsoever.
Hey, hold on now. This is a Wheezy and Mandy rollout because you are giving the fans, you know, you're dangling a little carrot. You might drop a pod, you might do something, but I see this as a rollout. You can't just stop podding now. That's your bread and butter. You were on the Rory and Mal podcast. You can't just now go be a rapper or now go be somebody's agent. Like, nah, we need to see you in front of the camera on a mic with your own show. That's how it works. So Julian, step up to the plate.
Taking control of everything and betting on me, that's just me. Putting me first above everybody for once.
When it comes down to it, when you get furloughed from the job, you can't moan and cry and complain. No, sir. You can't hang out and wallow. No, it's time to handle up. It's time to figure things out in real time because essentially you do not have that much time. You got to pay your bills.
Hey, it's me, Julian.
Something wrong with the pussy. From Lifestyle. Remember, Doug? It's a really good song.
I'll take the Soho.
Well, it depends what
Soho.
Get the fuck out of here.
I just got a haircut yesterday.
Nobody cares, bro.
You're welcome, guys. Took 1.5 inches off.
You look like you tell your barber take 1.5 inches off.
It was my first time going to a real salon.
A salon. Oh my God. That nigga went to a salon. Before we get out of here, obviously I've seen some comments on Twitter, on IG. Clearly Julian is no longer with the podcast. We wish him the absolute best. Love to him. But yes, he's no longer part of the pod. Appreciate all the contributions and salute to him. Mm-hmm. And I think that's it.
So this was big to me. So Julian is essentially rolling out a new show. And the bigger thing to me around all of this was Julian was a vital piece on the Rory and Mal podcast. Very vital. He was very informed and essentially in the know around a lot of topics that maybe Rory and Mal were either not entertained by or not as well versed in. So when I looked at it from their POV, they didn't really want to give it up. They didn't want to tell essentially why they let Julian go. So yeah, when I looked at it, I thought that Rory and Mal really didn't capitalize on this situation because when you want to build a core audience and a strong fan base, it has to be sticky. It has to be really some stories in there where you can really get them invested. And the fact that they did not give it up, they didn't actually explain why Julian was furloughed from the pod. Like, why was Big Bro kicked off the pod?
How the hell you gonna get fired on your day off?
I don't know. Let us know. Let the fans in. We're trying to figure it out in real time. Because to me, Julian is creating a show. Now, it seems to be a play on voicemails, but some type of maybe mental health component. I'm not too sure. He's giving the subliminals. He's throwing them out to the fans. But when I look at it, this could have been a show under the Rory and Mal umbrella. Because if it was a budgeting issue, which I think it was, I think they can't afford Julian anymore. He's becoming too viral with these one-liners, with the clips. He kind of called it out. So at the end of the day, if I'm paying you $80K, $85K, and this is how corporate business works. We're paying you $85, $90K, maybe even six figures. Let's put it on the high end. They're paying Julian $120. If they're paying Julian $120 and he has to get his 3% cost of living increase, or maybe even 5%, just for living in New York, do Rory and Mal really want to adopt that salary? Because right when they cut it, boom, that's $120K back in their pockets.
Just give me my money.
So I'm looking at it like, just naturally, this is business 101. Now, do they want to say that they're not making enough money to pay staff? No, that's not really something you want to tell the fans, because then it turns into a completely different narrative. Or do you want to put it out there that him and Mal were continuously getting into maybe little tits, and Mal was probably like, nah, I don't really like this, man. He kind of stepping on my A-Mike-ish. He trying to level the playing field, and that's not how it works. It could have been an ego thing. I'm not sure. Or maybe him and Damaris didn't get it. It has to be something in there. But the fact that they did not really give it up and they weren't willing to give the fans essentially that exclusive, even on the Patreon, they didn't give it up. So it's like, it's just a natural L from a business stand. Really trying to move your podcast into that #1 spot when the complex list comes out. You want to have these types of moments. You missed the moment. But hey, Julian is starting his podcast. Let's see what it's about.
I'm overwhelmed by all the supportive messages and words of encouragement, as well as all the inquiries regarding my whereabouts since the new year. These messages have helped me conclude what I was once hesitant to believe. I love the community that I helped build, and I want nothing more than to continue watching it grow. I have some exciting news coming shortly, but in the meantime, call this number, 877-557-SWWP, to get in contact with me, your intrusive thought therapist. I'd love to hear about your work, problems, or relationship problems, or anything else you need advice on. Talk soon.
That's how you do it. J1, take notes. Imani, take notes. This is how you roll out a show. This is how you get the people going. You put your number online. You say, hey, call me anytime. I'm your therapist now. I'm your big brother. I'm here to assist. I like things like this. I appreciate when people, essentially talk and walk what they're saying, like move the needle in real time. And so I like when people say, oh, the space or podcasting as a whole is saturated. But to me, I like the idea of new creative ideas being moved into the space. I like the idea of friendly competition in real time, because that's what it's about. An industry can't grow if there's no eyeballs on it. An industry can't grow if there's not a little bit of mess going on behind the scenes. Rory and Mal could have capitalized on this better. Julian, masterclass on rolling your podcast out, using your B-roll from the pod. Shout out to Rory and Mal for even letting him use that, because naturally that's their content. They hold the IP. So the relationship seems to be somewhat, in good standing, as they would say, but we'll see. Will they get the, Rory and Mal exclusive? Are they going to pull up and call in? What's going on here? Let me know what you think in the comments. Hit the like button. Drop a comment, subscribe. This is the Furious Robinson podcast, a Sick Times media production. Tell a friend to tell a friend that we up.
No, I ain't gonna front, bro. I told Wishman, you one of the best at what you do, bro. I'm not gonna even take that from you.